So today I wanted to talk to you guys about books. Now, for those of you who don't know, I work in a bookstore, so to say that I read a lot would probably be an understatement. At the current moment, I have 3 books on my bed, and at my mom's house I've got an entire shelf of books that I have yet to read, but I have purchased. I would say I have probably read over 100 books in the past few years. In the past year, actually. So for me, books are kind of a big deal. As can be seen on the very first video on this channel, which is a Project for Awesome video, books are definitely an escape for me. I'm not going to lie, when I was younger, I got picked on a lot in school. During that time, reading was definitely my way of coping with things. Anytime I'm at home alone, I'm probably reading, in all honesty, if I'm not, on the internet like I usually am. So I'm just going to talk to you guys about some of my favorite books. I know in my VEDA tag yesterday I mentioned that The Perks of Being a Wallflower is my favorite book. And it is, but I don't know how to explain this properly. It's my favorite book, but at the same time it's not my favorite book. I love it so much. I first read it when I was in grade 10 or 11. Quite frankly, I don't remember, so I was 15 or 16. And there was just something about the book that really just spoke to me. Something about the way that the author writes Charlie and the way that Charlie writes in the book is just fantastic. And all the thoughts that go through his head and everything, it just really connected somehow. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's my one favorite book. Most of my favorite books, in all honesty, have been written by David Levithan. The first book that I read that he wrote was Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which was co-written by Rachel Cohen. And I read that book because the movie was coming out, and I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie. But among his other books that I've read, my favorites are probably Boy Meets Boy, The Realm of Possibility, Love is the Higher Law, and How We Met in Other Stories. Those are definitely some of my favorites. I really love them. I love David Levithan as an author because his writing is very personable. It's easy to connect with the characters in the book because they're very human and they're such teenagers. I love it. Among my other favorite books, we've got Looking for Alaska by John Green, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I really enjoy the Scott Pilgrim series because it's just fantastic and hilarious. I mean, I read it like once a week. It's so fantastic. I also really enjoy the Song of Ice and Fire novels. I am reading them currently, and I think I'm on A Storm of Swords right now, and I do like it. It takes me longer to get through them because I'm used to reading teen fiction more often than not. So, reading all of this heavy, more adult-geared fiction is definitely taking me longer, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to mature as a reader. Of course, I mean, inevitably, I love the Harry Potter series. Like many people on YouTube in my generation, it was my entire childhood, so I feel very emotionally connected to that series. I also really loved Going Bovine and Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I read Going Bovine a few years ago. Right now it's the book that we're doing for our book club at work, and when I read it, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, how can you not like that? It's just great. And I picked up Beauty Queens expecting some of the social commentary from Going Bovine, and God, Beauty Queens was just hilarious. Those two, definitely, if you haven't read them, please go read those two. Also, before I forget, I really love the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. I didn't actually pick up the Percy Jackson series until I was 16 years old. So, I mean, I was a bit past the demographic, I would say. But I blew through the entire series in one summer, and when I saw that the Heroes of Olympus was a series as well, you can only imagine my gratefulness. Currently waiting for Mark of Athena, by the way. Yeah, since I've started working at the bookstore, my book collection has grown exponentially. As I previously stated, I have an entire shelf of books that hasn't been read yet. Those have all been purchased between now and June or July of 2011. one day I'll get to reading them. I just enjoy reading. I enjoy the worlds that it introduces you to. I enjoy intelligent commentary in books. I mean, I love just about everything about books. Mainly, of course, my love is in fiction and young adult literature, because they just take you to different worlds and you get to experience this whole other life, and it's truly fantastic. I honestly don't know what I would do if I didn't read all the time. I would have probably a lot of spare time and also a lot more money in my bank account at the moment, but overall, I think I'm happier that I do read. I'm sorry, this video is probably going to be one of the longer ones. I get really long-winded when I start talking about books, just because it's something I'm really passionate about, which is awesome. Thank you guys for sitting and listening to me talk about books for however long this video ends up being, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!